Today is my last official day in the UK. Why am I leaving? In this video, I'm going to tell you every reason it makes sense to move to Dubai. A big thing that helped me make my decision was actually visiting the country a couple times first. I was lucky to be in Dubai for work. I ended up staying a bit longer and just going around the city, not realizing how much I liked being there. People come from all over the world to live in London. It's a landmark city. But even with how much I was paying, $4,350 a month, I still had to look left and right every time I left my building. Dubai feels like a whole different universe. It's 100% safe everywhere. It's a city that has virtually no crime. In fact, it's one of the safest cities in the world, if not the safest. There are 4 million people living in Dubai, and that's doubled in the last decade. Dubai is an expat city. We're talking 80 to 85% of people living there are not Emiratis. People are leaving their home countries to live in Dubai. So what does this mean? Dubai has two main types of people. People who want to be rich, those who already are. Get used to seeing supercars everywhere. There's wealth you've never seen just around the corner. Talk about motivation. There's no excuse to not go bigger when you're surrounded by people more successful than you. You could spend a lot of money if you want to, but you don't have to. And that's the beautiful thing, because Dubai works for all sorts of people. If you want to live on a budget, you can do that. Or you can go to a beach club and a 5-star hotel, spending insane amounts. One of the things I don't see people talk about when it comes to moving to Dubai is that you can order literally anything in about 15 minutes. So there's this app called Careem. It's basically the Middle East version of Uber Eats. And they have these really good 30 to 50% off offers. Let me just give some context. In Western countries, a cheap takeaway could be about $20 plus, but in Dubai, a basic order could be about $6 each time. If you ordered lunch and dinner every day on a budget, so $360 a month, in Dubai, that's about the same as cooking. So if you can order instead, you're able to save time and energy. Most people think Dubai is super expensive. You see all this luxury on Instagram and TikTok, thinking there's no way I can afford to live there. Well, if you wondered what it takes to live off a super realistic budget, I won't go super deep now, but I made a separate video to help you figure out what a realistic monthly cost of living is. But just to give you an idea, let's say you had a 1-bed apartment in downtown near the Burj Khalifa. That'd be $3,500 a month. There's a big difference between renting in the center of Dubai and going a little further out. Sometimes in rush hour, you could spend an hour in traffic instead of being right near everywhere you need to go. So don't go around from 7 till 10 a.m. in the morning and 3 till 7 p.m. in the night. Besides traffic, the UAE is literally the most efficient country I've been to in my life. But let's say you were outside the center, the monthly cost of living could drop from $3.5K to $2,500. That's rent, food, bills, transport, but no hobbies. If you want to live on a realistic budget, you need about $4,000 a month in income. That's with you saving nothing, just able to cover everything. By the way, if you're looking to rent a place in Dubai, normally you have to have a 1-year contract. You pay 6 months upfront. If you're lucky, you can do every 3 months. And if you want to pay a full year's rent upfront, it could end up being cheaper. It's a bargaining tool. I'll give you everything all in one go for maybe a 10% discount. So for someone who lives in the UK, if you make 10K a month, you're left with £6,350 after tax. But in Dubai, you start with 10K and end with 10. At this income level and above, you actually save money moving to Dubai. But even without the tax savings, moving to Dubai gets you a better quality of life and leaves more on the table. A lot of people these days are working remotely, and if you are, maybe Dubai's a choice. It's different though if you work in London and you earn a crazy salary, but you have to give that up to live in Dubai, you're probably going to earn less because there's a lot more competition. But if location isn't limitation for you, like it was for me, maybe Dubai is a good option. Something a lot of people have asked me is, how do you actually move to Dubai? There's two main ways. The first is you get sponsored by your employer, and as long as you remain employed, you retain that visa, the ability to work in Dubai, earn money, do whatever you need. But if you lose that, you can't work in the country anymore. The other option is to get a golden visa. I got the 10-year one, but there's an interesting story to how I got that. Maybe I'll make a separate video about it in the future. There's a few other things people talk about. Dubai has a lack of walkability. Yes, you might have to drive to most places, but that can change. It does get hot in the summer, from June to August, like really hot, 50 degrees Celsius, maybe even hotter. The level of heat where you're probably gonna melt. mean, if you're hot, everywhere has good air conditioning. I mean, unless you sleep on the street, you'll be fine. If you're from a big city, you're used to traffic already. So literally, the only bad thing about moving to the UAE is it's a hot country. Honestly, the downsides are small compared to what you get living in a place like this. My main advice is make sure you're earning enough. Because yeah, in a place like London, I was working so hard, but the rewards didn't feel worth it. But with the safety, convenience, and like-for-like better cost of living, Dubai gives me that.
To be honest, I don't even know if I'm gonna live here for the rest of my life. I've got nothing to lose. I'm 23. Worst comes to worst, I move back to where I came from. But what if? It's so easy to stick to what you're comfortable doing, but sometimes you gotta take a step out of your comfort zone and see what happens. I guess I'll look back, see how things went.